Here we are at Hollywood, California, celebrating their 25th anniversary with Dances with Films. Your film, The Eternal Spring. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's an animated documentary that looks at a dramatic hijacking of the state TV airwaves in China. And it centers around a group of Falun Gong adherents, people who were persecuted for their religious and spiritual beliefs in China. They were constantly denounced in the state-run media, and they felt they had no recourse except to climb the television poles and hijack the state television signal to counter the message that was being put out there about them. So it's a human rights story that also is an amazing, remarkable heist story with these individuals who risk their lives to be able to get a message out there. And we explore this story through the lens of a talented comic book artist, Dashong. He's drawn for Justice League and Star Wars, and he was based in Changchun, and he had to leave because he was part of this community, and the police, they were just arresting everybody. So his whole life was changed because of this event, and we use his art and we bring it to life through animation to explore what happened and why these people did this.
What brought you to take on this film?
I was making a kung fu video game a few years ago, and it featured a lot of hand-drawn comic book art. So we learned about this artist named Dashong, who was living in New York at the time. Originally came from China, and like I said, he'd drawn for Justice League and Star Wars, but he'd also worked with Louis Cha, who is major, kung fu novelist in China. Thought it was perfect. The guy's got amazing talent, and he's got the cultural background. So we were working together. He came up to our studio in Toronto, and I learned he came from Changchun. I said, that's my wife and producing partner, Masha Loftus, from the same city, but she was the daughter of a government official there, had no knowledge what the people in this community had suffered and endured. So it just really hit home. And for me, I had an interest in the human rights situation in China. I said, let's take this amazing art that you have and use this to tell your story.
Wow. Perfectly executed, beautifully delivered. I'm mind blown. And how do we follow you and follow its journey?
Yeah, across all the different channels, we're at Lofty Sky Docs, DOCS. It's a documentary, and you can find the film at eternalspringfilm.com. We have all of our listings. We'll have a theatrical coming up in North America as well. But first and foremost, we're here this week, and our Southern California premiere is Wednesday night at the Chinese here at 7 p.m.
Awesome, thank you so much. So tell me a little bit about this documentary film that you're in.
Yeah, I do this play every summer, and it's called The Double Life. I got inspired from some old TV shows, and I thought it would be a good idea. And I write this. We are in season 7 now, and it's the title called A Celebrity Baby Shower. It's gonna be really fun, and my character had a brief affair with Mark Wahlberg, and who I had a baby with, and also currently at the same time I also get married to Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, all this drama and chaos, but it's really fun, wonderful film.
In the height of all this drama and chaos, what was your most favorite thing doing on set?
I think my favorite scene was when Anne did that interpretive dance for us. Yeah, and I kind of liked that, the way that she flows and stuff like that. It was really fun.
Yeah, the filmmakers were incorporated into her play. Yeah, so they didn't know they were going to be only filmmakers. They also were actors in her play.
I had to play the part of John Travolta, and Jazmine is a fashion designer to the stars, so she had to consult on my wardrobe for my next big premiere.
Yeah, and you have to work on his accent a little bit more, and so does my brother.
She's the actress, but she's running the whole show and everything.
Yeah, I am.
And what was your favorite?
My favorite part of the movie was just watching the play come together and watching, the community and the family make Jazmine's dream come true. So, yeah.
I love that so much. So, how do we follow this movie's journey?
We have a website. Jazmine, you want to tell them the website?
Yeah, it's called IronFamilyFilm.com. You can see the whole film, and it's exciting. And we also have a little podcast called Diamond Fairy Tales Reality Incorporated. It has all these episodes of trivia game that I do, and Patrick is my co-host, and we do this silly game called trivia about pop culture, and there's some episode 4 season 13 of the episodes. You can go on YouTube or listen to it on Spotify or iTunes.
Yeah, Facebook too. We have facebook.com/Iron Family Film, and you'll see some updates from our film festival journey.
Thank you so much, and then have fun at the premiere.
Thank you.
Keep Delete. Tell me about it.
Well, it's an actual story. It's a sci-fi, so it's about 20 to 30 years in the future, and it's taking a look at a romantic relationship between two people that are kind of stuck in a really hard time because they have two other lovers, and they want to know whether they want willing to fight for it or not. And in this world, there's a technology that allows you to keep or delete the memories of someone. So would you be willing to keep or delete some of the memories if you had the opportunity to do so with some of the ones that you've been with?
Okay, and then how do we follow Keep Delete on social media?
Well, you can follow it by following me, Lorena Jorge 22 on IG. You can also follow Chris Gauthier, who is the director and writer of the project, she's phenomenal, as well as Keep Delete himself. I think they do have an IG as well.
Okay, and you act in it, and gosh, I can't wait to see you on screen.
I can't wait either.
Hey, thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about this film that you guys are doing.
Well, it's a movie about me and my life and my business, which is a roadside attraction beauty parlor museum in Joshua Tree, California. I've spent 31 years collecting over 3,000 pieces of memorabilia. And I have a husband of 23 years and a 17-year-old son, and we've raised him in the desert, and it's a story about our life.
What made you decide to finally tell this story?
Cheryl asked me to tell it, yeah.
So I'm the director of Inside the Beauty Bubble, and I live in Joshua Tree, and I was familiar with the Beauty Bubble Salon and Museum, and I'd like to share that I had a life-changing haircut when I went into the Beauty Bubble and had this wonderful individual cut my hair. When I walked out of there, I knew I wanted to make a film and share his story.
And then this is how it came to be.
Yeah, at the end of Cheryl's haircut, I had told her I was getting an exhibit in the SFO Museum of some sculptures, hairdo sculptures I had made and artifacts from my collection, and told her about my family, and we were meeting each other for the first time, and at the end of her haircut she said, well, your story would make a fascinating documentary, and I'm a filmmaker. And I said, well, I totally agree, and I'm also an entertainer and a musician, so it was like magic.
It all ties together. It was as if it was fate.
Yeah.
So how do we follow you guys on social media?
A couple of ways. So it's InsideTheBeautyBubble.com is our website, and then Inside the Beauty Bubble on Instagram and Facebook as well, and Twitter. All the socials, Inside the Beauty Bubble.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
It's called My Friend Tommy. It's a real-life documentary about my best friend Tommy. When I met Tommy, he was a real-life 40-year-old virgin. He still lived with his Christian Korean parents under a curfew. He had never cooked an omelet. You were kind of sheltered. Yeah. And basically, he asked me for help with the ladies. But when I started out, I was like, okay, this is more than just help with the ladies. This is what is the question of what it means to be an adult. So being a comedian, I took him on this weird, eclectic quest across the continent to rediscover the adulthood he never had. And in every city, we threw him in the fire to discover a new adult skill. So that ranged from cooking to cleaning to asking a girl out to going on a date to leading into sexuality. Basically, the 3 decades that he missed out on as an adult, and he had to go through it. And it's very comedic, absurd, but also heartwarming and loving because we are like brothers. We have a weird, unorthodox friendship, and you see it in the film.
Okay, so he threw you in a whole bunch of fires. What was the craziest thing he had you do?
Oh, okay, so Central Park, right off the bat, day one, we're in Central Park in New York City, and he's like, Tom, go, get numbers. And I'm like, huh? It's like, go. And I'm like,
gotta give them context because he had 3 crushes that he loved over the years that he watched on Facebook get married, have kids, and he was heartbroken. So he had never told a girl in his life that he even liked her. And I'm like, day one, get a phone number. So,
can I answer the question, please?
Go.
We have time limit, man. We have a time limit. Okay, so that was the context. So basically, Nemo's like, go, 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 and I'm like, someone gonna help me? And Nemo's like, nope, just go ahead. This is your time, right? So the toughest, I went. There's one girl wearing sunglasses. Like, hey, how's it going? And she looked right at me. And I'm like, that was the most scariest thing to this day. I've done many years of university, many exams, many essays. I've interviewed Kawhi Leonard, I've interviewed Sidney Crosby. This was the scariest moment in my life. But that was an example. But you know what? I had a best friend here to help guide me. The Wolf Pack, the cast and crew, they did a great job. So yeah, but that was Central Park, first moment. I was just like, let's keep in touch. And she's like, okay. And then afterwards, you could hear them, everyone like clapping, like, whoa! And then she found out, she looked up and she started laughing with her friend. But I mean, hope. You know what? That was the toughest thing. If she is watching, don't worry, I have nothing against you, ma'am. But thank you for training me hard, because that was the moment.
Oh my gosh, this sounds like a crazy documentary. I want to see.
It should come out.
Yes, absolutely. So how do we follow your journey?
So you can follow us on our Instagram, MFT, like My Friend Tommy, MFT Movie. And we have a Facebook page, My Friend Tommy Movie. And basically we are world premiering here at Dances with Films at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. And we have a wild after party with industry executives, music executives, since we do have an original hip-hop soundtrack with really big artists. I want everyone to come out to adults only. It's a really nice bar down the street. And yes, Tuesday, June 14th, 7 p.m.
Will there be girls, and will you be talking to them?
Oh, of course, I talk to them, it's just, I found out also, if you just talk to them like normal human beings, that's what they respect the most. So, absolutely, it'll be a great time. Thank you, everyone, for your support.
I love that so much. Thank you.
El Carrito is the story of a street vendor in Queens, New York, who's just struggling to get by every day, and one day she decides to take a leap of faith and basically changes her life and realizes things about the people around her that basically makes her relate differently to the people in her community.
It's always that leap of faith that just changes everything.
I think that's the universal story that we're telling here. It's specifically about a street vendor, a low-wage immigrant, but at the same time I wanted to tell a story that resonated emotionally with everyone. So all of us have dreams and hopes, and we all try to work hard to attain them, and sometimes it just takes like a little bit of trust or a little bit of a leap, and sometimes we win and sometimes we don't, but if we don't, something else beautiful might come out of it, and that's sort of a theme in the film.
And I love that. And speaking of themes, what is the overall essence that you want the viewers to know about this film?
I think for me, it's about fundamentally a story about human connection, about community. I wanted to make a film that goes beyond the story of the immigrant American dream narrative, and I wanted to tell a story about community, because that's something that we all as immigrants offer and that we work towards, and I think it's a story that's not often told, and it's such a hopeful story.
Yeah, I love that so much, so heartfelt, and personally that resonates with me and that touches my heart. How do we follow you guys on social media?
So you can follow us on Instagram, El Carrito the Film, and me personally, I'm the writer-director. You can follow me at Zahida _Pirani on Instagram.
Okay, thank you so much. It's Lin Fan with MajorFilmEvents.com. We're back at the TCL Chinese Theater. I talked to some pretty amazing cast members, directors, and producers with their fantastic stories, films, and documentaries. Keep watching, and you never know where we're going to be next.